By this time last season, we were flying. This season, it's not going to be anywhere near as easy. Hello and welcome to episode 51 of To Be a Legend. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have two games for you. First of all, in League One against Preston North End, and then we play in the Papa John's Trophy Group H Match Day 2 when we meet Aston Villa under-21s. Met them last season in the same competition, and I think we actually beat them on that occasion, but today, who knows, because we're not in good form, as I will show you right now. As you'll see, since you were last with us, we've played 3 games. Forest Green, Salford and Milton Keynes Dons, Accrington, Stanley and Morecambe in the last episode. Getting that 1-0 win in the EFL Trophy, but losing in the League One match against Morecambe. All been very tight affairs, only losing by the odd goal, but just don't seem to have enough impetus to get us by. It's all by odd goals. It does make me wonder whether to go back to this formation to try and just stem the tide, as it were, because we weren't losing matches that way. We are losing matches now, and it would just be good to hang on in there. Out of those 3 matches, a 3-2 win against Forest Green Rovers was probably the best result. Sam Burns getting his first goals for us alongside Johnny Smith. We were 3-0 up at half-time, but caved in, but managed to hang on to get the win. Charlie Wyke and Mitch Pinnock getting the goals for Forest Green, but because of those 3 goals, just managed to hang on, as I say, to the win. Shots-wise, 50%, which is what my normal ask is, 1.38 on the XG, 49% possession. Not bad. We're not a million miles away. Just need a couple of somethings, a couple of players just to give us that little bit of an edge, and we'll be all right, I think. Salford, we lost by 2-1 again. We were a goal up here after 54 minutes, caved in. Holland and Harper in the second half, getting that 2-1 win for Salford. A game we should have won again. 7 shots, 6 on target, 1.54. XG-wise, 58% of the possession. It was a game we should have won. And then against Milton Keynes Dons, it was slightly different affair. 6 shots, only 2 on target though. 1.29, 43% of the possession. They were the better side, and really we were lucky to get away with a 2-1 really, but as I say, we've not been totally overawed up till now, but you just get the feeling it might be coming down the line at some point or other. So we're looking to try and shore ourselves up somehow or other. So that's what we're doing. How does that leave us in the table? It leaves us quite lowly in the table, 13th at the moment on 9 points. 4 points above the drop zone. Salford, Port Vale, Crawley and Sutton in that drop zone. Salford only having 1 game, that game against us, which is really annoying. Today's opponents, Preston, are in 8th place currently on 11 points. So he's still sort of fairly tight. If we could put a couple of wins together, we could soon climb the table and clear that drop zone. That's what we're trying to do. We have played Preston once before. We lost to them. That was in the Papa John's Trophy last season, 1-0 at home. So let's hope we can get a better result than that today. And as I say, Aston Villa, we did play them in under-21s in the same competition last season. Beat them by 2-1. Johnny Smith and Luca Barrington on that occasion. Brad Young getting the consolation goal for Aston Villa. If we could win that today, would actually put us in quite a good position. I think Aston Villa under-21s, they've won their first match against Mansfield 3-0. We won our first game against Accrington Stanley 1-0. So a win against Aston Villa today will put us in a half decent position at least. going into the third and final game against Mansfield. Not much else to tell you, I don't think, other than we do need wins. And our injury list, as you will know, we've been suffering pretty badly. I've had a few players come back. We're down to 4 on the bench now, a couple coming back. Good news is Omatoy, who we desperately need to start putting some goals away. He is due back in about a day. And then we're a couple of weeks, 4 to 8 days away for Kieran Brown. Hallam Scanlon, he's 3 weeks away, and Lewis Dobby is about 4 to 8 weeks away with that longer injury that he's had. So as you'll see, we've had a number of players coming back just recently from injury as well. Regan Griffiths, the latest of those, with a pulled knee ligaments. He's back into thing, albeit not 100% at the moment. Right, let's get on with the episode, get on with the games. First up then, it's Preston in League One. We're looking for a win, the first win in 3 games. And just need something, as I say, to get us going. And this is the team that will face Preston in this Sky Bet League One match. Killip is back in goal. Thomas is not having a good time in goal just recently. Mind you, nobody's playing particularly well, as you see. Not many green things. Lewis Walker, the only person with a green average rating in the team at the moment. Killip then in goal. Linton, Sass Davis, Williams and McDonald is our defensive line. Walsh playing as the deep-lying playmaker in defensive midfield. Griffiths and Mundle in front of him. Tilley and Smith as the wide players. Burns plays up front. On the bench we have Thomas, Gamble, Pedder, Moss, Smith, Duddy Zack and Lewis Walker. And this is how the two teams line up. As I say, we're playing with our defensive midfield, 4-3-3. And they are playing a very similar formation. Preston currently in 8th. And we're down in 13th place. Walsh with the free kick, our first highlight. Williams, and it's just put that wide. And that was our only highlight of the first half. Not that I'm complaining. For me, at the moment, if we can hang on to that, we haven't been the best side, though. We've only had 2 shots, none on target, and an XG of 0.01, 42% of the possession. We need to up the possession rate. They've had 4 shots, just the 1 on target, 0.39, 58% possession. As we get tired, they may come at us. That's what we've got to be careful of. Let's see if we can have a chat with the boys and see if we can just pull that extra bit of something out in the second half. First highlight of the second half, 57 minutes on the clock. And it's a highlight to Preston, who come forward. And, and it's gone in. Ross Stewart, the scorer. And the problem is when we go behind, we don't look like we've got anything to go forward. That's our big problem. And we are struggling. I mean, Killip should have had that. Our goalkeepers are useless. Just think we've overstepped ourselves. And they have a corner now. Clarkson with the corner. It's headed clear, though. But only as far as Bell. And the ball comes back in again. It's bobbling around. Oh. Killip just stands there and watches it. I mean, what do you do? And we're 2 down. And going for another defeat. I think the best thing we can do is get relegated, get sacked. We're finding another job sooner or later. We've done as much as we can here. Not been given the impetus. That poor ball. And who's that with him? I mean, there's no defending or anything going on here. That's Williams. Oh, dear me. Come the January transfer window, I think we're going to put the whole team up for sale. He's offside. When that ball's taken a knot. Oh, And with 68 minutes on the clock, we've made two changes. Johnny Smith comes off for Perry Moss on the right-hand side. And Tilly has come off on the left for Lewis Walker. And we've changed to a more familiar 4-2-3-1 formation. I'm really just don't know what we're going to do to get out of this. Nothing seems to work at the minute. And we seem to be in a right hole as to how to fix things. And I really just don't know. Any ideas in the comments below? Regan Griffiths picking up a yellow card on this highlight. Something's going to come of this. Possibly a third goal as they go forward. Just run away from him. Oh dear. Back in, and we're not even defending, are we? It's going to go in again, isn't it? He's put that wide. Ryan Sessegnon. And with 81 minutes on the clock, made our other changes. Romain Mundle's off for Dudizak. We've also brought off McDonald and brought Andy Smith on in that right-sided defensive thing. Patrick Gamble is on for the Harry Williams, who's not been having a good game at all in defence. And I think that's pretty much all our changes done and dusted. And it's all over. We've lost really rampantly. Going to get a fine as well for yellow cards. And yeah, it's just continues our poor run and poor form. 2 shots, nothing on target, 0.01, 44% possession. I'll say no more. Well, we're currently down in 15th place on 9 points, but there's a number of teams below us that have only played 8 games. In fact, quite a few teams, which means that should they win those games, we could be dropping right down here. Just 3 points above Salford now in that 21st position. I'm expecting to be in the relegation zone very, very soon. Well, around the games played in between, and both our games between the Aston Villa game and our next big match is they've both been postponed or moved for whatever reason. So we've had to arrange a friendly. We'll come to that in a moment, but you'll see we've dropped down to 18th place, just 2 points now above the drop zone, with Port Vale, Shrewsbury, Crawley Town and Sutton United in that drop zone at the moment. And we need to do something reasonably fast. We're drifting away, and yeah, down to... So everybody having played 9 games now, we're down to 18th place, having won 2 games, drawn 3, lost 4 games, -2 goal difference. Needs something to stop the tide as it stands at the minute. And well, today and this friendly, can we do something about it? Aston Villa under 21s, as we said, we played them last season, beat them 2-1 last season, but we were in good form. This season we're not. Let's have a look at the team that will face Aston Villa under 21s in the Papa John's Trophy then. So here we are. We've cleared one of the tactics slots, and we've gone back to basics, basically. We've selected what the assistant manager thinks is the best tactical style, what they think is the best formation, and we've gone with that for now, just to see if it makes any difference. So we've gone to a positive 4-3-3 defensive midfielder wide. So that is the formation I'm going to play, and that formation means that Thomas is in goal. Both goalkeepers playing abysmally at the moment. It's a bit of a toss-up between which one's the worst of the two. Thomas in goal then. Tomlinson, Smith, Gamble and Viner are back line. Walsh as the defensive midfielder is in a regista position. Mundle and Pedder in front of him, with Tilly and Smith as the wide players. Burns continues up front, albeit he's not doing anything spectacular at the moment. On the bench, Killip, Williams, Sass Davis, Patterson, Dudizak, Griffiths and Omotoy. Omotoy coming back from injury, can play 45 minutes. So we're hoping that he will get some game time. Really depends on Burns, but it might just give Burns the impetus to push along now in this game. Let's see if we can get a result against Aston Villa under 21s then. And this is how the two teams face up, playing our 4-3-3 formation, as we've talked about. Aston Villa, and they are playing a 4-2-3-1. And that's how we are. It's Aston Villa just top on goal difference. And our first highlight, 28 minutes in, Tomlinson to Tilly. Back to Tomlinson, Walsh. Walsh comes forward and he's lost the ball. And that just sums up our sort of mojo at the minute. We're just not in it at all, are we? Not got any long cross, but it's Williams that heads it away, but only as far as Christine. Oh, and he's played it in. Oh, bad ball into the area, into the danger zone. And Thomas equal to it. And another throw in. Viner on that far side. Throws it in. Finds Burns. Burns comes into the area. Smith plants it in the back of the net as he does. Third goal of the season. And we go one in front. This a little bit better. 39 minutes on the clock. And we take the lead. Looking at the stats, nothing more than we deserve. Good finish from Smith. They have a free kick now. 45 minutes on the clock. It's crossed in. It's headed clear by Smith, but only as far as Patterson. Patterson into the area. Crosses it. It's bobbling around there. Still live, but offside. And half-time, that last highlight. They've had 2 shots, none on target, 0.46, 40% of the possession. We've had 4 shots, 3 on target, 0.34, 60% of the possession. So far, we are playing better, but we need to really make a bit of a difference in the second half. They're getting back into it on the old XG. Need to make sure we get at least another goal in front. And with 71 minutes on the clock, we're going to make one change. James Tilley coming off, and it's Tyrese Omotoy coming on for him. And Sam Burns drops out onto the left side. It's not his best position, I don't think. He prefers to play as a striker, as a pressing forward, but that's where he's going to pop out. And he's probably better as an inverted winger. So that's what we're going to set him as. Let's see if we can get that second goal. And I was just about to make some changes, but we've got a highlight. Walsh with the corner, swings it in. It's headed clear, but fallen to Pedder on the... it's bouncing about, and Omotoy's back on the score sheet. He's first of the season, coming back from injury, and we go 2-0 up. And I think we've put this one to bed. Headed clear. Gamble heading it out to Pedder. Pedder has a shot. It's come back off the woodwork, and Omotoy gets there and puts it in the back of the net. Messy, but question whether there was an offside there. And with 85 and nearly 86 minutes on the clock, we made our final changes and made it quite a few of them. Smith moves out to the right. We have taken off... trying to work out who we've taken off. Taken off Zach Viner. Sass Davis coming on for him. Patrick Gamble comes off for Williams. And then we have also taken off Liam Walsh, who was playing in the defensive midfield. Brought Patterson on for him. And Duddy Zach replaces Mundell. They are our final changes. And no more highlights. We have won this one. And a win that we needed. 14 shots, 8 on target, 2.09 on the XG, 62% possession against Aston Villa. Under 21s, 4 shots, 2 on target, 0.48 on the XG, 38% possession. That's a little bit better. If only we could translate into League One, and it would be a lot better. But maybe this is a formation we need to stick to and start to sort of like get a bit of consistency going in the side. Smith and Burns playing well. Omotoy coming on and picking up a little bit of form. Hopefully he'll be back to full fettle fairly shortly. So good day, and it puts us in a reasonable position in the Papa John's Trophy to get through to the next round. And this is how the table looks in this Papa John's Trophy. 6 points. And we are in first place, a goal difference of +3. Aston Villa under 21s are second, having lost that game, and on 3 points. Accrington Stanley third on 3 points. We have Mansfield to play, and if I can find them, where are we? There we go. Accrington Stanley beating Mansfield by 1-0. So it's all to play for in this group, but a win against Mansfield would see us through to the next round. Let's keep our fingers crossed then. And it's good to see a bit of a green dot on there for a change. Johnny Smith and Tyrese Omatoy getting the goals then, as we put a little bad run to bed, and we've got a friendly against Brackley Town, as I say. Two matches that were in there, Crawley Town and Sutton United, both been moved for some reason or other. But they've been moved out, and it means that we've got 14 days down to our next game. So we've put this Brackley Town match in between, and we're going to play that, and hopefully we can get a win in that one as well, which will give us a little bit of momentum going into our next two games, because we play Bristol Rovers, who are 15th in the table, just above us, and then we play Derby County, currently top of League One as it stands. They've lost just one match against Wycombe Wanderers when Wycombe Wanderers were flying high at the start of the season. They are equal on points with Bristol City at the top, 20 points apiece at the moment, all to play for then. So coming back for those two big games, Bristol Rovers and Derby County, in our next episode, which will be episode 52. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That will keep you up to date with all that's happening here on the channel. Obviously, To Be a Legend and new series as they are released, so you can keep up with that, and our other series, of course, Making Chelsea Stand Proud. If you want to keep up to date what's happening on this channel and more, best way to do it is to follow me on Twitter at JustOffside2. It's just below here. New episodes of To Be a Legend released every Monday and Thursday at 4:15 p.m. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you for the next episode. It'll be episode 52. It's out on Thursday. Until then, goodbye.